There's gonna be somebody who's a diehard fan rocking that shit.
With that big ass bone in their lip.
Nah, with the tattoo on the lip.
John was like, I ain't feeling that bone though.
I like that bone.
I'm like, that's part of your culture.
That's real though.
I feel
they
you,
couldn't
but
not
I'm just
have
saying.
it in there because that's really
I'm
what
not saying
people
this shit
think.
not.
That nigga couldn't take it out.
It's not like he did that in one day.
What you want him to do?
Yes.
It takes a while before they're able to get.
It's just like
something
piercings,
that
you know?
large.
Like anybody's piercing, it's just bone.
Pleasure.
So we're just getting, get comfortable, y'all. Just until we just start
Man,
the
we ready.
discussion, you know?
Man, we ready.
Everybody ain't ready. You ready and I'm ready.
Well, I mean, I don't know how to get ready to talk about what I think.
It's just not just be natural.
Be you.
That's
Say
what I
You
think.
saw it, you liked it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it.
I'll tell you this before it starts. The minute it ended, I had so much I needed. I screamed.
Yeah, we want to hear that.
She said she's
I scared the shit out of Leslie.
All right, check it out, Terrell. Let's just hit it. Let's go.
I did.
No. We gotta make introduction.
Intro. All right, man. Yeah, we got an epic Black Panther discussion. Y'all know me. I'm John. Y'all know this fool over here.
You watching the Wells
This
Brothers?
is Dre, part of the Wells Brothers with company today. This is little
Special guest.
Tiff.
That's our sister.
Y'all know
Tiff.
this fool. You ain't even getting a shot though.
Oh yeah, y'all know me.
You ain't really in the shot.
You
You gotta
ain't in
screw
the
over.
shot. I ain't in the shot.
Oh yeah, he had this
I'm in the shot.
lean.
Anyway, so today is the Black Panther discussion,
Yes.
in-depth
Black
breakdown, analysis. Gonna talk about, what we thought about the movie overall and where it's at today with its
Who
what do you call it?
wants to kick this off? You want to kick it off? You can go ahead and.
I think it's funny with the controversy.
This is
that's going
spoiler
on
talk,
around it.
so a lot of spoilers. If you ain't seen the movie, tune back in after watching.
Man, if
So
you ain't seen the
let's
movie,
go.
something wrong with you.
I believe that too.
I mean,
Go ahead and kick it off.
Hey,
Jim.
everybody can't get to the film.
Let's
Well,
talk.
Well, what I meant by the movie, if you ain't seen it, is like I was saying, there's a lot of controversy around it, which is funny between the liberals and the, whatever. Society is just too damn sensitive apparently because when we did the review, spoiler free, right after we watched the movie, I clearly said this is the everybody's movie. Like this movie is for everybody. It's a universal film. The message of the film is about trying to unite and bring unity together. So I think it's really funny that there's all this.
You're already getting me hyped. I'm like a cat ready to pounce on every word
Jump
you're
on it. I'm
saying
just
right now.
thinking
But
it's funny that there's just so much.
let's just
controversy
dial back
around
to the original statement that you said that it's an everybody movie. I mean, just that statement in general. Unfortunately, it should be an everybody movie.
Right.
But everybody's level is not the same, and everything is not
True.
accepted or thought of, and beliefs and
Listen.
and the scale of people and variety is too much
Right.
to be able for it to be an everybody movie. But was it made? Could it be an everybody's movie? Absolutely, it could be, and it is. But it isn't because everybody.
Well, people that are culturally insensitive or ignorant is who I think the film is not for, which is
Well, then
I
again,
disagree. I
wait.
disagree.
Let's
I
back
disagree.
it up because we're talking about the movie in general as without giving anything we care about the movie. I think we should do that
We're gonna
first.
get into that right now.
This is all
But
spoiler.
look, the movie is for everyone, but everyone ain't gonna take it the same way.
Of course
Bottom
not.
line, right?
There's
Bottom line, everybody's got their own take on it, or even before you watch it, some people are like, I don't know. Some people was jacked and super hyped to watch it. So it goes both ways. No matter what you wanna, how we wanna think about it. People are gonna think negative about it. People are gonna think positive about it. But hopefully, we can all push towards the positive. You know what I'm saying?
Drake. Yes. What you think, man, with this controversy? Just in general about the controversy around it between the
I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you're
Situation.
gonna have like a movie that's culturally driven, that's colored, that has
especially with a
diversity,
black leading
leading
actor, all
cast.
black.
It
cast.
doesn't matter. You're gonna have some type of backlash.
First
from,
black superhero. Come on, man.
Yeah, he
Come
could have
on.
been the first purple superhero. It wouldn't matter.
I mean, this is a very relevant topic too because it's all over YouTube and I haven't seen
That's
it.
just more of like the other side trying to keep the like people from actually receiving the message that's in the film, because it is a lot of African culture and it's a lot.
Oh,
it's
for
a lot
sure.
in
It's
the movie that
that's
the
in there.
average person is not gonna like.
But let's
relate to
how
or even
ironically
understand.
funny is this, that it was Black Panther was created in 67, I think it was, by two white dudes, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee.
Everything about the story derives from a
A truth
real
of some sort.
aspects.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's vibranium, and then there's, this resource that caused this civilization of people to like thrive,
Which is funny.
technologically and far
It
as
just
like their
shows you how
economy.
smart
That's but if you really break the movie down, if Africa was never colonized,
Right.
it was never stripped of its resources, that's what it would be.
Now, do you
The
think
reason
the
why they
controversy
stood
is
hidden
based
from-
off of how they're showing Black African American quote unquote at such an
we know what it
intellectual
is.
level?
Certain people don't ever want to see Black people in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So
It's just
that's
what it is.
that's
It's always
what
been
the
that way.
agenda
On the
is.
rise,
It's
from
always
good.
been
Which
that
is
way.
really
and-
sad, yo, because this movie is so beautiful with the positive message that it has, and so real as far as like the relatability to the characters.
Just give me what you believe, because you said the positive message. What do you believe the message of the film is?
Like I said, it's unity, to come together, to rise above all the other petty differences between nation and continents and ethnic, ethnicity. Like, it's to unite and make the world a better place. Just as, the world changes, but they try to stay true to their historical culture and the traditions that they have, which was why T'Challa wasn't really ready to do that in the beginning of the film, even after his love interest, I can't remember what her name was.
I'm not gonna remember anybody's
Well,
name,
that's
but
all
that's just how I am. I called in the car. I'm like, John, the blue people with the capes.
Here's what I think this movie did very well. It hit the message that you're talking about. It hit it in a superhero movie in a way that I've never seen it done before. This was historic to me, because
Right.
to put this in a comic book superhero movie is genius, because you're gonna grab different people, different people coming to see this movie, and then people outside of the loving comics is gonna see this movie, and it's gonna gravitate to everyone. Everyone's gonna pull something from this movie.
Right.
And hopefully they're gonna grab
That's
that message
the-
at the end,
And-
Well, I know sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm gonna
No,
interrupt
you're
you.
fine, go for it.
I felt like I was on a roller coaster the whole entire movie. I feel like I was the main character, and I was just constantly in conflict. I was angry. I felt blaspheme. I had so many opinions every second of the movie, and I was entertained. So it was like, that's why I call it a roller coaster, because I was inward, outward, everywhere. It was visually pleasing.
To me,
It had
you
my
said
mind
that-
going into history, into the Bible, into every place possible to think. That's why I felt like the movie was a woo, because it felt really good at the end, because I think I evolved with the character and got where the character ended up coming out, but I wasn't happy with him the whole time. I had some complaints, number one being his fight scenes.
Yeah.
I don't mind him being evolving as a king and him getting better and stronger, but I do mind him getting his ass kicked so fiercely in these battles, because to me it was like, didn't he take?
What particular?
Well, first
scene?
John had to explain to me, because so the viewers know I'm highly ignorant about a lot of things. I didn't go in knowing. All I knew was from the Civil War movie, anything about Black Panther or whatever I watched with these guys.
And that's fine.
Commentaries, but I don't really know anything, and I like that aspect of going into the movie, because I don't have any expectations. I don't have any, anything that's hindering me from just enjoying what I'm watching.
That's pretty cool.
But John had to explain to me. I'm like, they made it seem like the little juice. I call it the juice they took from when they take the flower and whatever the hell they do. The blue juice. I call it blue. I don't know if it was purple. Maybe I have color problems. Anyway. So John had to let me know, which I don't know if he's correct, so anybody can tell me, that he took the juice, he became king, but they're kicking his ass all the time.
Let me tell you this.
When they were doing the challenge, when they were doing the challenge,
they took his powers away.
They take his powers
Okay,
away.
and
So
once
it's
he
a
told
fair
me
fight.
that,
Yes.
I was like, Okay, I understood why he got his ass kicked. But he was getting tossed up until they were like, what is his name? His actual name where his mom yells out, T'Challa! And then all of a sudden he's got more strength. No, they came to your house. They're challenging you on King Day. This is your birthright. Your dad just died. Come on.
Hold on. Let me tell you this. I actually like that part, and I'll tell you why. Look, this is the beauty and the brilliance of this, where this director took it, because right away they show the main character, the Black Panther, vulnerable. It ain't like a Superman or someone with all these powers. They took his powers away, number one, so you could feel for him. He's fighting just as a man. They're fighting on.
And mind you, they did not make that clear to a viewer that has not known shit about it. You knew that.
They did make it clear. Wait. Forrest Whitaker's character, he told him. He said, "Look, we're taking his powers away. Anyone can challenge with these royal tribes."
Yeah, that's
you just missed that part. They took his power away.
I said that to that, but
they could fight one-on-one. No
sorry,
advantages.
Forrest Whitaker, that I wasn't super zoned in on your part of that. I did miss that part. However, I mean, I still could have. I assumed it in my mind to make it better because that's just what I would do.
They did it twice.
Yes, they did do it twice.
Yeah, they did.
Listen, I understand.
That's when the second time is when what's his name?
Killmonger.
Yeah.
They take his powers away again.
I assumed while he's getting his ass kicked that he's not using the powers.
But there's a lot you can miss in this movie because there's so much going on. It's like you're pumped, you're going through your emotions. I've seen this movie 3 times.
No, I agree.
Okay?
And I agree with you, and I agreed with you last night. I just said it better. That, yes, I believe also it would suck if, he's kicking everybody's ass all the time. Although that might have been good too. But not to the extent. I think they let it go too much. Like the first battle, I was highly like this. Fucking do something, like until his mom finally showed. And what she says is a little bit lame too. Show them who you are.
I like that.
You ain't
Why is that lame?
I felt that.
This is why.
Go ahead.
You gotta remember, T'Challa hasn't been king for that long.
They had the corny part where he tells his dad. I'm sorry,
this is the backstory of the Black Panther.
As far as what,
he hasn't
full
been
Marvel or just
this takes place directly after the Winter Soldier
Civil War
situation, right? So
because I think we should start the video here.
He hasn't been Black Panther that long. He's just becoming king.
No.
And
he's had the mantle of Black Panther for a while.
He's had Black Panther, but he hasn't been king that long.
Right.
And
all
those people where he comes from, they're all
king.
warriors. They're a tribal warrior. So he doesn't have like, it's not like he's just gonna just completely just
decimate.
But you're coming from watching him fight the
yeah, but he's stripped of his powers.
I understand that now. I'm talking about when I didn't understand that, but still, I said even with that fact that he did not have his full more than them powers, I feel like for that particular character, and yes, I saw the scene where he's telling his dad, I'm not ready to be king. He had conflict inside of him, which does affect your outward performance in a lot of things. But these ass people also have to have some kind of conflict and other shit wrong with them. And just because the guy is big and what tribe was he from? Because they were from the mountains. They were from a different...
Yeah, gorilla tribe. The gorillas. The M'Baku was the challenging him in the
M'Baku. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
you just gotta look at it like this, like, these are the people that protect. They also protect Black Panther in a way. Like he has his guard. He's protected by the women.
There's the 5 tribes, right?
Like
I guess my only disappointment. The reason I was expecting his fight scenes with them and him to seem a little bit more powerful than them was because I'm coming from seeing him, and like I said, because I'm new, I'm coming from seeing him do a bunch of crazy ass shit already at the level that he is before we get to this point. Now all of a sudden, his fighting skills to me...
Let me say this.
Oh, so wait, he didn't... No, but he hadn't had the juice yet when he's in these other films.
Yes,
yeah,
he's strong.
Oh, so they do. Okay, this is what I don't understand. And that's maybe why...
Listen. Whenever he's the Black Panther, they have to go through that ritual that he did after he retained his right stay king. He drank the little juice, as you so eloquently put it, and they
the
buried
heart
him,
shaker.
and then he had his vision, and then he, normally he sees the Panther God or whatever, but anyway, that's when he gets up and he has the power of the Black Panther.
So there's times where he doesn't have the powers.
No.
Just when he's
Just
doing
those
that
two.
trial by
Just-
combat.
It is not.
When they
It
take the
is
power
not
away.
a fair fight. If he
No,
was to
I-
go into there,
exactly.
I like the
Fight.
fact that they enjoy fairness, especially the general, which is
well,
one of my
it's not
favorite
just fairness,
characters.
it's about respect and tradition and
Yes.
honor.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah,
again, this is the big conflict of the film for me as well. Is man, it had so much where it's like my mind's blown still just thinking about every piece of controversy they threw. I mean, we're talking about controversy outside the film, but controversy within the film was so hyped. I couldn't even deal
Agreed.
without the controversy outside of it because there were so many characters that felt so differently about everything that was going on, just like the world. Having this technology, having this ability, while the rest of, not the world, your own country, your own countrymen are suffering and going through so many things, but this was the way of those kings and their leadership up until this particular king's reign. And then the withholding of knowledge, like he didn't have all the knowledge. There were secrets within the
Well, it's
tribe.
just like Ragnarok. There was things stored.
I don't know what Ragnarok.
Well, let's stay on track here with.
I'm just saying, it's
You
the
know,
same kind of thing. If you look at the kingdoms and the realms
I
and
understand.
whatnot, it's a similar kind of thing.
I don't want to spoil Thor or talk about Thor. I want to focus
We're
on.
not talking about
This.
Thor. I'm
It will-
making a comparison.
So when you're talking about this battle, right? Like I said, the beauty of what the director did is taking his powers away, showing him in peril. Like we're so used to seeing these other movies, which I know you're not privy to because you haven't seen a lot of them.
I've seen the movies.
Okay.
Well, that's
a lot of them.
What they did was what they
I
did
missed
was
one.
they stayed true to the origin of the Black Panther. Like that story of him losing his power, that ritual that happens a lot in the story. of
No,
Black
and I
Panther,
totally
where
get it. It sucks that I didn't
he
get
has to
it
prove
at
that
the
he's worthy of the
moment.
powers. So then
Worthy
once
of
he
kingdom. Worthy of
Once
king.
once they beat
And
him in
again,
battle, then
Was he?
Was
I
he
mean,
what?
yeah,
He
Worthy?
defeated the guy, and he not only did he defeat him, but he saved him. He didn't kill him. He made him tap out. He made him say, "I quit."
Yeah, he didn't
And he
even.
didn't kill
He
him.
could have killed him.
He could have killed him. 'Cause
I like that. I like that.
You either
Michael B.
lose
Jordan-
by
okay, now-
lose by death or you
Submission.
submit.
and
he
the
made him
Michael B.
submit.
Jordan battle, right? So a lot of people have it with Killmonger. A lot of people have like their little issues, like, oh yeah, he beat him and whatever, he was getting his ass whooped by him, blah, blah, blah. Like you have to understand that this dude is also from there. He's from Wakanda, and he
Has been trained
trained his
twice.
whole entire
I don't
life.
think he had ever been there.
He never been there.
No, but
he
he's
trained.
from
He's
there.
got his. It's his blood.
He's from there. That's
Right.
where he, and he's trained his entire life to
fight.
defeat him for just for that moment.
Yeah.
So like nothing was gonna stop him from losing that.
He
battle.
was the
T'Challa
most
would have-
driven character.
The only way
in the
T'Challa
entire
would have
film.
won that battle he would have to literally kill him.
Well, but
that
look,
was it, and,
and that's true.
He was not ready to go that.
He
far.
had a lot of
But look,
conflict about what his
also-
dad did. He felt for him, which made him a good king
right,
to me.
that's
he felt
why it
for
had nothing
him.
to
Would
do
you
with
say
him
that
being-
T'Challa had him in the position to have the killing
No,
strike?
both of them did, but T'Challa just
least
couldn't
twice.
because he had a conflict within himself.
I'm
He
not
couldn't
saying,
defeat
and again, I just think I wish it was a little better.
And he didn't
done,
wanna
because
fight him.
I felt like they were kicking his ass versus it being a battle.
Let me bring something to you that you might have forgot. When he does see his dad dad tells him, he says, "You're a good king and you have a good heart, and it's hard for a good man to be a great king."
First of all, I did not forget, and if you say one more,
I said you might.
I know where you were going, but he constantly is always
I said you
thinking.
might.
Well,
Like,
look, when a person is conflicted within, it
no,
creates
I
things.
agree, and I knew that, and I knew he told his dad he wasn't ready for the. They set up how he felt with giving it verbally and not having you assume.
He
all
felt
the
a
time.
guilt that wasn't even his
I mean,
own
all through
guilt.
the movie they hinted towards it, like, oh, you
Yeah.
always freeze, and you know.
No, yeah,
I'm
they
not
put it out
ready,
there.
and,
Yes,
you know,
it was
he didn't
out
wanna,
there.
He didn't want to kill the dude, and
I agree.
you know,
But even still, and no, I agree.
he's not polished.
I'm not in
as-
disagreement. Sorry, I'm so loud. I don't know.
You're
Oh,
excited.
man, this
That's
movie
fine.
gets you there.
I agree, and I through the discussion, and I'm not hating on it, but I had two complaints. That was my one. I can't remember now what my other one was.
Maybe it'll come back to you.
It'll come back to me. But yeah, I didn't have very many complaints about it except for that. And again, no, I don't think he should have just been able to kick their ass immediately. But I didn't like seeing
him be
so. I don't know. It's just I didn't, and it does go in a little bit to be. I didn't care so much for his acting as a character. It wasn't horrible. There's been so much bad acting, but as the main character, he's the only one who's African acting.
Wait, whoa!
I am your king.
Whoa! You did not like. Hey, can't hear her, man. You didn't like Chadwick Boseman's performance.
I had goosebumps.
Nigga,
Dude,
I'm trying to ask
go
you a
ahead.
question.
I'm sorry, man. Hey,
So-
T'Challa, man. Come on, go ahead. Ask your question.
You didn't like Chadwick Boseman's performance?
I know. I'm gonna be the most hated person.
No, I'm just asking. I don't
I'm
care
sorry,
what
it's your
anybody
opinion.
else thinks.
my opinion is usually not
That's fine.
liked.
Don't worry about it.
But no,
Shocked.
that's it wasn't horrible, and there's horrible acting, so I don't want to say that he's not a good actor. There's just his
Accent.
it's not even the accent,
Tone?
it's his voice
Softer.
sound.
That's part of
The tone of his voice.
His voice sounds. They're like, shut up, bro. His voice, the way the pitch of his voice plus the accent bothered me on some of the lines he was saying. But that's just me, and it bothered me.
Let's do this. Let's go from Jay.
thought
Let's
it
go.
flowed
Let's
well.
let's start with T'Challa. Let's go on character by character. Now, give me your pros and cons with T'Challa. If you whatever you have. Let's talk about T'Challa.
I don't really have any cons.
Okay, so what were you feeling about his character?
Well, I'm explaining it to you, bro. I don't really have any cons about the Black Panther, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman's character. I mean, I think that because of the conflict that he faced after, coming home to take the mantle of king, learning, that there was conspiracy or betrayal or whatever it was going on, just hidden secrets that he wasn't aware of, wanting to make differences and changes, like all these different things, and him not being ready to be without his father. He never said he wasn't ready to be king. He said he wasn't ready to be without his father.
Sure.
Just made those things are what made the movie as exceptional as it was, because all these things he's trying to process make him hesitate and make him, even when he's without his powers. If you read any of the comic book content, Tariq would know, he's still fierce without his powers. Like,
all of
he's
them,
beyond,
and that's what I was trying to tell them.
he's
All
beyond.
of them are. Like, if you know anything, his character is pretty much based off Shaka Zulu.
Let me
Never lost in battle.
Can I interject something real
sure
quick?
did.
As you're talking about T'Challa and what he's struggling with, as he's fighting, let's go back to that first battle with M'Baku. M'Baku gets the upper hand on him. When he gets the upper hand, because T'Challa was serving him.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then he gets the upper hand on him and gets him in that bear hug, meaning...
he overpowered him.
Yes, I'm stronger than you, right? You're in a position of, I'm putting you in check now. Now,
Or
your
at least
speed,
you tried.
your speed and your quickness can't serve you here. And this is when he starts giving it to him, like, no claws, no suit, no powers.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
trying to say all
this
these
is,
things.
They're like, this is your king. And you know what I'm saying? He's trying to bash him down. And his mom's like, that's when she's like, show him who you are. And I was like, damn, good.
Right, because this is the thing. Show him who you are means to say. He's trying
you're
to.
More than those powers.
He's trying to say that all you are is
Yes.
the fruit that
Yes.
gave you the abilities.
Yes,
All
exactly.
you are is your father's son
Human.
living in the shadow.
Yes.
I mean, when you guys are saying it, it's very touching and it's
Yes.
very,
that's
I feel
what was in-
I
that's
feel
what-
well, but in the moment of the
Yeah.
movie, I felt corniness.
No,
I understand
hell no.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what I felt. Hell no, it's what's the
I'm not
actual
saying
factual
what you
feeling
felt.
that-
I'm saying hell no to me.
No, and as
saying
you're
hell
saying
no
it,
to how
as I hear
felt.
your voice so charismatically talking about how great he was, I'm with you and my heart wells and I'm like, yeah, show him who you are.
Yeah.
But when his mom yells it, because I'm already
From
bothered
Angela
by what's
Bassett,
happening.
though?
Again, but this is because the attitude that I already had. Again, trust me, I have
But
to watch
see,
it
no,
another
look,
time.
check this
Only
out. Let me
watch it
say
once.
this. Stop. Let me say this. Check this out. Look, this is what's dope, though, because even though to me, your opinion of certain things that you're saying is hella obscure, that's reality. That's what
that's what
people
you got
are
from it.
going
That's
to
all
be
right.
saying.
But that's
You're
why I
not the
said,
only one
no,
saying
that's why I
anything
said,
you're
look,
saying.
I went in ignorant. I'm not saying that I didn't. I went in just because I fucking saw the preview. I liked him from the first movie.
Right.
I only watched the preview once because I hate how they show the whole movie inside. And I'm like, I already seen all this shit. So I only seen it once. Enough to say I'm super excited to see this. I'm related to these people. I'm their sister. They always love Marvel, everything. So I'm so used to hearing and being evolved and all this stuff that I couldn't wait to see the movie. I normally go on opening day, but I was out of town and I didn't get to see it. So I've only seen it that I do have a lot of ignorance, but I like that fact because I'm capable of learning. I will watch it again. I'll probably watch it over and over again because it has so much wrapped inside of it. Yeah. Not only as what's the word I'm looking for? Hollywood is the only thing I can think of, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
What do you mean as far as what?
It hit to me the writers. Because this is what I was going to start out by saying. My turn to talk about the character. The writing is good. The thought that went into it, the direction was good. I'm usually an actor person. I don't think about the writers. I don't think about the directors. I don't watch the little credit shit that happens at the end. I like actors. I go to see movies for the actors that I like and I enjoy that deliver a humor to me, drama to me, or whatever.
Right.
This and a few other films have made me want to know who did that? Who said that? Who came up with this? This team that put this together, they think. And they not only think, but they made it pleasurable.
Would you understand or believe that almost everybody that worked on that film was all black people?
Well, I'm not going to be shocked because I happen to know that black people are intelligent. But if I was shocked...
A lot of people would be, though. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Well...
I mean, you should be because in Hollywood, that's
because
rare.
it's a new thing.
Rare.
I get that. But I don't want to say I'm...
John, though. John, what did you think about T'Challa and all that?
Man.
Wait a second, because I will hand it over. I do talk a lot. But I do want to say, I love the character.
Well, I didn't know you weren't done.
Forget about the acting for a second. The character. T'Challa, who he is from beginning to end, stays consistent.
Right.
When it does change, it's actually showed as growth, not, he just flipped the switch and became somebody else, or somebody persuaded him or bribed him to be anything different than what he was.
Word.
And I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah.
Now, as the acting of it, the guy was great, and I could not see anybody else be him. He is the character.
Chadwick.
But there's just aspects of him.
Chadwick
Bowman.
Bam.
There's just aspects of Chadwick Bowman that didn't feel African to me.
In this film, but you thought he did a better job in.
He did a
Civil
lot
War.
less talking in Civil War.
Well,
I'm gonna say this about T'Challa, man. When I'm sitting there watching this movie, and like you said, I was there, man. I was there in Wakanda. I was there when his mom was shouting at him. I felt every moment, and that's big time, man. Like, you're there in the moment with him, and that takes
able to be
to the directing, to the acting. You know what I'm saying?
They did their job.
There was never a moment I didn't feel what he was going through.
Right.
So, there you go, Chad Bowman, you did your thing. Beautiful acting. Chadwick Bowman. Damn. T'Challa. I'm gonna call him by.
I feel bad. I feel like I want him to feel like he's a good actor.
You know what? He did his thing, man. And
I'm gonna tell you, when he first came out, this is gonna be the most horrible thing I say. When he first comes out on King Day and they're just showing his back or whatever.
King Day. Coronation.
That's what I call it.
Coronation.
It's always gonna be King Day to me. When he comes out and they're just showing his back, as a female, I was just sitting there thinking, shouldn't the king be a little bit more? But that was my real thought. I know it's assholeish, but that was the truth about what I was thinking.
That's fine. But I wasn't thinking.
But when it got closer, it got closer. I was like, all right.
Look, probably. Look. Are you dead?
Are we? Go ahead. Go ahead. They've heard me. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Me personally, I did not go to the movie to
look at his body.
To see if this nigga uses a Bowflex or if he's like, you know what I'm saying? One Crush Wednesday. The story is incredible. Yeah. They took a comic book story that could have been easily corny, because I have the comic book of which the story they kind of pulled from.
Yeah, and his villains
it has a lot of
really
corniness in the story. There's a lot of redundantness in it. So the writer and the director, the direction of this movie, which the direction they went with the whole you know, conflict between civil rights and, you know, what we've been through as African Americans in this country and the heritage of African culture and like that is real. So that's why I say like there's certain things in this movie that if you're not aware and just socially aware, you're just not gonna catch it. So you're not gonna have an emotional attachment to it. There's conversations that I've had with people that's like, yeah, why didn't they come for us?
And
when
let me bring another
that
didn't
was
our
the
people
biggest,
come and woo,
just
you know what I'm
you
saying? So
throwing that,
that is
that's
a
the
real
biggest,
thing in Africa.
Yeah,
like,
that's the biggest.
so it's crazy that he actually took that he was brave enough to take the direction of a major $2 million Marvel movie budget and go in that direction and like reach a bunch of people. Like,
and that could go for any race too.
Right, because that conflict between African Americans and African people, that is real. That really exists.
And to be able to do it the way they did it is super smart.
So just think if you were from that place and your ancestors were taken from the continent of Africa.
We don't have to say it because we were.
I'm just saying, like I'm just talking for everybody else. And you live that life. That's why the movie is so clever. It starts in a place, Oakland, California. Why is that? Why does it start there? Because Oakland, California, no, not there, because Oakland, California was the first place where the Black Panthers, the civil rights movement took place. You feel me?
Tell them about it.
It ended in the same place the movie began. So it's a lot of things that if you're not socially aware, you will not understand.
Now, when I say I was ignorant about...
That's why the brother was like, I'm not going back with you, and I'm taking this because there's things over here that's happening that you guys need to know about. It's like, that was real, so like, right, so the only problem I have with this movie is the villain is so good.
My sister just
that
pointed
I feel
out
like
that
he deserved more screen time.
Well, no, I told John.
Did you feel like Killmonger?
There was no villain.
Did you feel like
He's not a villain.
Don't let me hang it.
No
Don't let me hang it.
Did you feel like Killmonger overshadowed T'Challa, or was he? They were equal on me.
And that's
I don't.
But see, look, listen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The cleverness of the director. He purposely cast that character because of his dry acting and his dull like way of delivering those lines. And T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman.
I am slow, so you gotta
like
help me know what you're talking about.
He was like the Black Panther character.
Okay.
The director casted Chadwick Boseman because of his it's done on purpose. His dry delivery and like the way you're like he was kind of like he really didn't do a good job of acting. That's because he wanted the villain to overshadow the main protagonist in the movie.
But I don't think it was so much done so that way.
And forgive me. Forgive me.
Hold
on. Let me put a disclaimer.
It was supposed to. He's supposed to be
dominant
in the film because if you look at Marvel movies in general, their villains are lackluster.
Talking about that.
And that's because they
But that's what I want to get to next. Okay, stop.
Wait, let me give a disclaimer because
think about how memorable.
Check it out.
Killmonger's
best Marvel villains thus far.
He was only in the movie for about 30 minutes.
Best Marvel villain
so far.
Easy.
Now, why do you think he was the best Marvel villain?
Because he had depth.
We're gonna start from this side of the couch and back this way.
Like he had depth. He came from a place of understanding. So it's like whether he's wrong for what he's doing, you understand.
Right.
And that's important. Even to the anytime you have a villain that makes the hero question himself, if what he's doing is right. It's automatic. You automatically got me. Where it's
almost like
you don't know where this story could turn because he's not looking at the Black Panther as his enemy. He doesn't look at any of those
like the Joker in the Dark Knight.
Right. He doesn't look at it. Killmonger doesn't have a natural enemy in the movie. The Black Panther is not his enemy. No. His enemy is just the system, and he wants to change things. He's trying to disrupt things, and that's like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Like. Malcolm didn't agree with Martin, you know what I'm saying? And
vice versa.
But they both had the same agenda. You know? They just had different delivery. You know what I mean? Methods.
Black Panther.
Like one's an extremist and one isn't. Like T'Challa is, the peace and loving and we can help and whatever, you know what I'm saying? So like he took, even though he had conflict with Killmonger, he took a lot of his ideology and applied it to his kingdom and his way of ruling after he was gone, because like he understood like that the suffering and all those things that went on while his father was in rule, it shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? And it was wrong. That's what was good. What was dope about the movie is like it showed like, yo, tradition isn't always gonna be right.
So,
It's okay. It's okay
Not
to
only
have
that,
your opinion, you know.
Not only that, but it almost
Even
makes
with the
it to
female
where
soldier when she
there
was like,
can't- there was
I'm loyal to my country.
There
not the
was
throne.
no right or
You know?
wrong. It's just an overall conflict
Right.
of the thing
Do
that's
you
wrong with
think Michael
humanity.
B.
Period.
Jordan, the villain, brought that out, the essence of that out? If it was like not for him, it wouldn't have been so clear.
I think they casted, you know, the director casted his guy because, you know, that's his guy. Obviously, Fruitvale Station, Creed, you know what I'm saying? That's his guy. So, and the director chose a perfect character. Oakland, California. He's from Oakland. They both from, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. Like, they really just
Did their homework
did their own thing with the movie, and it worked.
I'm gonna say this about
like it
Killmonger.
worked so well. If you really want to break down the movie, like as far as a Marvel movie, it's the best Marvel movie in my opinion because it can stand alone without all of the
it
bullshit.
does. It totally does.
Like, because the fight scenes in the movie, the fight sequences and the CGI, it's not gonna hold up in the test of time. Like, they look pretty bad. The storyline, the fight sequence, the choreography is not that good. The CGI is kind of whatever. But the story and the characters and like I'm talking about everybody from the interactions with his sister and his bodyguard girl, you know, everybody in there.
Well, I'm gonna give that out to Marvel. Period. Their movies normally have.
What were you gonna say?
Have character conflict or some substance to it, but this was.
This
movie. Marvel has it. They're genius at blending drama and like comediization and action together. But a problem with Marvel, their main problem is it's hard for them to get the writers to be funny and witty without being corny.
Okay, I agree with that.
Sometimes it comes off corny. This movie didn't have no corniness in it.
Michael B. Jordan's character, okay?
Right.
The casting of him. He brought this edge to this character. He brought real.
He's supposed to be
brought
one of
this
us.
real to this character. He brought the urban to this character.
Right.
He brought Oakland to this character. He brought all that.
He brought Oakland to Wakanda.
On screen, in your face, non-apologetic. He's like, here it is, bam, with swag, with
so
everything.
what are you saying? Like, it was that raw essence that he brought.
Yes.
This is what it is.
I'm sure.
I looked at it like this. Michael B. Jordan's character is like T'Challa and Michael B. Jordan are the total opposite.
Yes.
It's like you grew up with this with
financial stability,
all
culture,
that. You feel me? You culture, you know your people, you know where you come from, and it's like, but the other black experience,
Black in America,
what we speak from, which is why we all can be like, I don't disagree with what he was doing, or I disagree with
what I was saying. When it gets to me about the villain is I never saw a villain.
When he gets Wakanda right, he gets up in there.
And he's like, y'all been chilling.
The battle's done. This fool puts him on blast. He's like, yo, I never seen black people living so good. He's like, I'm out here and all this is going on. He's like, where was
you see what he did at
Where
the
was
same
y'all?
time?
They did have.
You cannot ignore that. That's a sense of awareness that he just brought by doing that. Like, oh, hell yeah. And they might look at him like he's being ignorant, right? Yet he's being so honest and so real.
I just love that. I love.
He did have a little bit of misplaced anger, but it's understandable because that's human nature.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that misplaced anger at first, like I said, I was on a roller coaster of emotion. I like to have a lot of humor and I talk funny, but I really love this movie.
But we also got to remember that he was put in the in wars. I don't know if it was
before you know about his backstory, before you realize that he's this kid that is. Before you get to that moment, and he's just a smart ass villain at this point.
Right.
Everything he's done has been calculated, smart, not super kill.
He's not
overdue. Just enough. Like when the first scene, which is the museum scene, I'm like, I've never seen theft.
Oh, that was so
delivered this way.
And that's what I'm trying. That's exactly like if you look at the character Killmonger, where he comes from, his father was murdered while he was outside the projects playing basketball. He was left, abandoned pretty much, to survive on his own.
Yeah.
And for a kid to make it out of the harshest neighborhoods in Oakland, California to MIT, dude, imagine the adversity that he has to go through. So you really think that this nigga has been a king in a kingdom hidden from the United States and oppression of everyday life is gonna beat him in a hand-to-hand combat.
You know what I see?
Okay, and I told
not gonna
John.
happen.
I told John at the end. I said this was the first
That's why I was
suicide
like-
I have ever been okay with
Right.
in my life because I felt like I got stabbed. When he
The
says his
last
line, when
oh
he
my
says
God.
his line, I agree
It was
100%.
really strong. It was
I'm
really
like,
strong.
go ahead and go. You know, like, I've never supported ever. I've never been like, you know, but I felt like he's fucking
Perfect.
right.
It's
Like,
perfect.
I'm sorry for cut.
I exhaled at that moment when he said that, you know, just throw me in the sea. You know what I mean? Because my ancestors,
and it shows you like that's where he was coming from the entire time.
And
Yeah,
that's just that
This man was so driven. He was driven
right.
home.
But
As a little boy, he was driven to go through all them wars,
Right,
to go through all them
exactly.
assassinations, to scar his body for every kill.
Okay, let me-
He was so driven and focused on, I'm getting to Wakanda, I'm challenging this king, and I'm liberating my people once I get their resources.
Not only
Can I get you all to
liberating
chime
them,
on though that when he gets there. He not only driven, he gets there, but when he does get there, because it's so much and he doesn't do it slow. Mind you, it's a film, so it has to go fast.
Right.
What do you feel about how he started to execute that?
That's where I'm coming to.
That's what I
Okay,
think
so
is the best
look,
part.
no,
Because
no,
it gave the movie stakes. It gave the movie sense of urgency.
Look, his reasoning for doing things and his motive
Behind it.
behind everything is so like passionate, and it's like you can almost get behind him. He's like a a modern day civil
Robin
rights
Hood, I'm saying.
activist type of dude, just an extremist though,
Yeah.
or radicalist, I would say. But once he gets there and he obtains these things, his execution it was kind of like elementary, like, oh, we're just gonna give all the guns to the niggas in the ghetto. And I was like, what?
Hold on.
That's your plan?
He wasn't giving them to
Yes, he
niggas.
was.
No, he gave
Hold
some
on.
spies that were put there.
I get
They
it.
had
but
them spies
but
like his daddy
hold
was.
on,
But listen,
let me explain
the point was to give it to them,
Yes.
so they
Yes.
could arm.
Revolution.
Like they have done that. What do you think the United States government has been doing? Where do you think we get the guns?
You're
You
right.
think niggas
His
buy
plan
these
was to
guns?
do
No,
exactly
it's the
what they
same.
did.
It's
The
the
same.
And this
same
is
thing.
probably
The only
because his
difference
whole
was
life
gonna
he's been
be-
training to get there. He hasn't been training of what he was going to
Right,
do
so
once he got there.
He was doing the same thing that the United States government was gonna do with the whole crack epidemic and giving niggas guns in the streets and have us kill each other in the game. The same shit would happen. The only difference is we would have just been more effective
But
killers.
that's why T'Challa
So
was like,
I just feel like
I
his idea was good, but his execution was very like immature.
And I think it goes to be because as human beings, he was in a
And I also didn't like the fact that he was given such a righteous cause, and he was shown to be so ruthless. Like when he got to when he killed old girl, the bodyguard, when he slit her throat.
Yeah.
I felt like they could have went without that scene. Like I didn't like that part.
But that was
Like-
to show you that he is villainous, though.
but she didn't need that.
No, you did.
It just didn't feel. It didn't
You
feel
did need it.
justified
Hold on,
because
listen.
we didn't get enough of the
Listen,
characters.
listen,
He was
listen.
only in the movie for like 30 minutes.
Hold
Right.
on. But you're right. But this is to show you how far he's willing to go.
That's the
But I
difference
understand- I
between.
understand that, but
that's
listen,
why
you forget-
You know, he
T'Challa.
says a line. He says a line that's like, and anybody who gets in our.
I get it, but look,
But
this
look,
is the
that's
thing.
why
though.
T'Challa and him are different.
I don't
because
like- but-
T'Challa can understand him.
I get that. I'm
to
not
the
talking. I'm
point
not
where-
talking about the character. I get why the character did it. He's a villain. He's gonna kill innocent
Right, but
people.
no,
I get
not
that
just
part.
a
I'm
villain.
just saying.
He was a villain
I'm
to
just
begin
saying.
with. But
In the movie, the white dude is saved. The CIA agent. They saved this nigga after he revealed his plot to invade Wakanda and take the resources to what's his name, the Claw. When they had the conversation and they were listening, he told them, "Oh, so they have vibranium and that." And they save him and take him back, and then take the bullet out, and he's recovered, and then he's allowed to shoot down Wakandas in the sky during. I didn't like that. I'm like because if you pay attention to every
disagree.
dialogue, all the dialogue between the white people and the Africans in the movie, they have resentment. Like, we know who you really are, what you've really done. There's a reason why we stayed hidden from civilization this entire time, because what you've done to the rest of the country. once you knew there was gold, oil,
Yep.
and all these rubber and all these things, what you did to every other nation, we're not going to have you do to Wakanda.
Yep.
Because we have something that's even more precious than all those resources combined. So what do you think you'll do with us?
Yeah.
What I
So
like about
once the white dude revealed what he was going to do, they saved him.
Let me jump
And
in
then
because
he's
first I don't feel like he
killing
revealed.
Wakandans?
I don't think he revealed that. I think so. We'll talk about that for a second. But first, let me say, I feel like the
Speak
saving of
there,
him
you
and what he was allowed to do was more of a reflect on who they are, not who the white people
Yeah,
are.
I get it.
Which means, and because I like to say this and I like to think this about myself, although I'm not rolling strong this way right now. Somebody shouldn't make you who you are. Yes, you did all that shit. And this is what was good about the king. Yes, this is what the conflict that I feel he felt. Because the woman he loves also, she's like, I can't stay here in this kingdom with you, knowing after I've seen our brothers and our sisters, what the fuck they go through, and I can help. She's like, she likes doing what she does. Right. Now, first thing she says is, why are you here? You're messing up my mission. And she loves this man. But she can't sit in a place of privilege while she knows this is going on and she has the ability to help. She isn't saying, bring the resources, do all this. She's like, if y'all ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna take my own one little human being person self and go do what I can. So I like the idea of whoever I am and the king, he's thinking, yes, this is what my dad's always done, but I do see the need. What is the balance? Is there a balance? Can it be done that we have these resources and that we're like this without letting the white people take over and without needless war and without needless killing? So when they saved the white guy, sorry for calling him, with the agent, so I'm calling him the agent because I hate that race thing, but he was the white guy in the movie. Yeah. When they saved the agent, to me it was like, what? And so let's go back to the confusion where I think you're seeing a part where they put the little thing on him and what they're hearing. They do hear him tell the other guy tell him what they have. I don't feel like they made you decide whether or not he believed him or not. It seemed like he didn't believe him. It didn't seem like he had a plan at all. He seemed like an actual real agent, meaning he wasn't double agent in the sense that he.
No, I'm not saying once he got out of the room, he asked Chadwick Boseman's character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have more?
Yeah.
Because if you do, you need to tell us.
Because this is his job.
Right, but why? Why does he understand?
Because that's what America does. Yes, exactly. I agree. So I agree with that.
He revealed his plan with that. And
because
he had to lie and say he had to lie and say
I agree.
Hold on.
Let's
remember this. Okoye, the chief of all of them, she tells him, we're going to take him back to our place. Where are we going to take him? We know what he's going to do. He's an agent.
Right.
His job is to do this. And he right then and there.
But then we just can't let him die.
He made that decision. I'm not going to let him die. It's another
and I like that.
I get that part. I'm not saying that he should have let him die.
The part about him killing...
I'm just saying that at the end of the movie, or with the character Killmonger, like him don't forget that he worked for the CIA. Like he was an agent. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he told the guy he's one of ours when he first saw him. He's he's one of ours.
Yeah.
Now I do. Okay, yeah.
So his whole his job was to infiltrate governments and bring them down. So the character in the agent, he gets what he wants at the end of the movie as well, bringing all the resources and the technological advances of the Wakandas to America, and they're
I told y'all too that
I understand for the movie why they did it, because they're gonna have to have some way to go up against Thanos.
I don't want to open up the biggest.
That's what's gonna balance.
I don't want to open up the biggest can of worms ever, but biblically, the whole movie had a whole nother. I had like all kinds of cabinets going on in my mind.
So it just.
But I will say this to what you're saying. I didn't agree with the scene when they go to I feel like it would have been great if when they were in the inner city, him and his sister, and he's showing her what she's gonna run. That felt great. There's gonna be a center. I think we're gonna do it. Slowly infiltrate. Where I felt they went overboard and they kill it because it is a movie and it is America. The overboard for me is the revealing of the spaceship where all the kids are like, oh, what is this? Yeah. And then the press conference for me. I'm like, oh, that's overdoing it. If it would have just been that him and his sister are right there and they are going to put in Oakland, they're going to put where they start teaching the youth and sharing their technology and sharing things in a more controlled fashion, a more still secretive, because no, you can't just hand all of
Yeah,
your
I get
information
it.
to the world
This is,
like
well,
that.
there's a bigger thing coming in the next movie.
And then again, that's why I understand why it's done.
And this is what he's saying. Like,
Yes.
they're doing this to bridge the gap because bigger threats are coming from outer space to attack everyone, and everyone's gonna have to unite with and you're kind of probably gonna lead the spearhead, given their technology and
So wait, where are we at? With
So
this
that's
right
kind of
now?
where they're leaving you off.
So
Where we at in this
for-
conversation?
just to sum it up, Black Panther's character Chadwick Boseman, he didn't give the most phenomenal performance, but it was strategically planned that way to
And maybe
give the
he
villain
did.
his
And
stage.
maybe he did.
I loved both the characters. I loved Michael B. Jordan's character. I loved Chadwick Boseman's character.
Can we talk about the general?
He-
She
I-
deserves so
man,
much
she's-
talk.
Oh yeah, all the
She
women.
deserves so
women-
much.
The general, my girl from The Walking Dead.
I mean, the women in the movie.
Michonne.
The women in the movie in general, they stole the show.
Yeah,
to
they
be
did.
honest.
Black, strong.
I mean, they did such a good job.
powerful.
I wouldn't mind just seeing a standalone movie with this.
Oh, they might even do it. They
You know what
might
I'm
even
saying?
do
Like,
it.
It was that dope. But
I would like to see one where they introduce
I
Storm as
do
the
feel
queen.
like the villain didn't get enough screen time. I would have liked for Claw to not have had so much screen time because he was pretty
Even
much
he-
irrelevant.
even he
in the
didn't get
movie.
that.
I actually like his presence. In
His
there.
presence was cool, but it's just like
It was confusing.
it's like when you see Michael B. Jordan and
explain
when you
this
see
to me.
when you see the trailer, you're like, okay, how are they gonna play this? Is he gonna be from Africa? Is he gonna be United States? Whatever. So then once you figure out, like, oh, okay, he's from the United States.
And it primarily
Cool.
takes place
I thought we were
in
gonna
Canada.
see a whole different dynamic of this villain plot and all this stuff. He didn't have enough screen time.
Help me
to
understand this, please. Okay, so when the Claw is what I guess I'm calling him.
Yeah.
When his whole relationship, which I believe to begin with the actual I'm supposed to say Jamal or his name.
I thought you were gonna say Jumanji.
I don't know what his name is. I'm a
Jamal.
horrible.
Michael B.
Killmonger.
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
The little boy whose
Right,
dad died.
yeah, Michael B.
Killmonger.
With their whole relationship to me was so he could get to
The Vibrator.
he's getting him to get
Wakanda.
to
yeah.
the place. But then when he shoots him, I was confused for
The
his.
reason he kills him is because
But how does he still then get there? I don't get the whole relationship then if he needs him and he kills him.
he doesn't really need him.
Okay.
He's bringing him as a gift because he knows they're looking
Okay,
for him.
so he brought him dead instead of alive.
Yes.
Okay. Because his whole idea was to take him, period.
Yeah, he's gonna take
But he
him
can
there.
take him dead or alive.
But he
Okay, that's
know-
where I was lost.
the
I was like, I
only
thought he was
reason-
his way to get
He only
there.
used Claw as like
I don't
as
know,
like
because she makes a good point.
It didn't
'Cause
make sense
If you
to
think
me.
about it, if he just needed him as the ticket to get there, then what is the whole point of, the museum?
Yeah,
visiting
that's what I was like, why,
and
what was the
doing his
necessity
jobs?
for all this?
Why wouldn't he just kill him in the beginning and just fly him there if that's the whole, point?
But I guess he did. They did want him alive because the other guy did want to kill
Well,
him.
he said, bring him here.
dead or
dead or
yeah,
alive.
he would have accepted him either
The
way.
thing-
But they did
the reason
prefer.
why he did it that way is he wanted T'Challa to fail in that task, which elevated him when he brought Ulysses there. It
Yeah.
puts him in a good light with the Wakandans.
The
instead
other
of-
thing I didn't understand.
the
Sorry,
king.
because I thought you made.
But
your
hey,
point.
he didn't know that. He didn't have.
They've been looking for him for 30 years.
But
Who's
he didn't
that?
have. But he didn't have anything to do with
Claw?
T'Challa failing.
He did. They had him, and he kidnapped
He
him.
kidnapped
But look, why did he fail?
Oh, you're
Because
talking
Michael B.
about when
Jordan
he-
took him.
You're talking
so-
about when, but okay. I mean, I
Here's
guess
my other
that could
confusion.
be it.
I was under the impression that the reason the leader of the Blue King.
Oh,
Do you know? I don't know what his
Yeah,
name
the
is.
character from Get Out.
Yeah, the Get Out dude.
That hell, it was bugging me the whole movie. I didn't know who he was, but I did. Okay, the reason I thought that he wanted the villain was because he killed his father.
Yes, his parents were killed by Ulysses.
But I got confused as to whether they were brothers. You can explain it better than me. Where I thought, what was the relationship between, because he's cousins with the king, but I don't get how they're not brothers.
You talking about T'Challa and that dude?
And the
The
guy
Get
who
Out
was
dude?
mad, yeah.
They're not brothers.
Wait, which guy?
The one who wanted the Claw to be
Oh,
be
okay,
held
okay,
responsible
okay,
for the
right.
death of his dad.
Right.
They're not brothers. He's just saying that this guy killed my family, and he's royalty. That guy's part of a royal tribe.
Well, see, the fact that he was part of a royal tribe is what made me feel like that was his brother. That was the uncle.
Because M'Baku's part of a royal tribe. The merchant dudes, they're all royalty. It's the only way they can challenge him for the throne. And Killmonger's characters is his dad was T'Challa's dad. They were brothers. So T'Challa and Killmonger are cousins.
I get that.
They're related. Those two are related.
So when and how did the Claw guy kill the other guy's parents?
They never show that. It's just kind of it's just a way to tie him into why this guy wants.
Because he looks really mad though too when he finds out that.
Which guy are you talking about? When did they show? Did you kill?
Oh my God! He leads the people with the No, they all have vibranium on.
Let's talk about that dude from Get Out.
They lead the rhino people. He's married to the general. I don't know if they're married, but they're in a relationship.
Yes, I understand that.
He's then like murderer because when they find out that it was really the king that killed his own brother,
right?
He's really mad about that as well. Like it was his dad as well.
His whole agenda is because he wants Wakanda to get, he wants the Wakanda to go out. He wants the same thing almost that Killmonger wants. So it's easy for him.
Not that he wanted it, but he was ready to accept it.
Yes, it's easy for him to side with him because
I
want the king
I
to
saw
go
that. I just
direction.
wasn't sure about their relationship.
Yeah. So, let's talk about Okoye,
how do you guys remember all these names?
the general of all the guard.
I loved her.
She did an amazing job. Just loyalty, man. She screamed loyalty. Loyal to the throne, loyal to the king. Loyal to her country.
She exuded honor.
Such a skilled warrior. The best warrior they had.
Discipline is a beautiful word for her. Loyalty. All those are great words to describe her. Plus, the actress rolled with that
Michonne from The Walking Dead.
And brought it to life.
And when he's like, will you kill me, my love? She was like, for Wakanda? Without question.
Yeah.
He believed her.
Wakanda forever.
He knew. I ain't messing with you. I'm putting my swords down.
Black Panther, the film was just so immaculately conceived, put together. I mean, there's a lot of pros and cons that people are apparently nitpicking over. Not just you, that one too, another one. But to me, those little nitpicks were so minuscule in comparison to the grand
story.
scheme of the film.
Absolutely. As a whole,
it was so easy to overlook.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed the entire film, top to bottom, beginning to end.
Let's talk about T'Chaka, the king, the old king, before Chadwick Boseman comes into power. Like, no, it never happened.
Well, I don't think he was trying to sweep it under the rug
They told him, don't tell anyone. He told the only man who was there, Zuri's character, don't tell anyone about this incident.
But that's not really sweeping it under the rug. That's like plausible deniability right there, because he knew the impact, the implication of people finding out
that he killed his brother. Yeah.
Not just that. I mean, like that was the whole problem, was because he had the lineage to challenge T'Challa. It was his his first cousin.
Well, what I'm saying is...
No, I think the reason he wants to sweep it under the rug is so multifaceted. One, because his brother was literally against what their tradition was in the first place. And so they're not in agreement with how to run the country. But much like I'm going to call her the princess, even though she really wasn't a princess, the love interest of the king, much like her, she went on her own and did what she could do. The brother of the original king, I'm sorry, it'd be so much better if I knew these people's names. The brother that he kills, he was not in agreement with the tradition, with the king. No. But instead of his way of going about doing it was his own way. He now has set up a way to take things and do them the way he's doing it, because he was a spy sent into this area of America, much like the love interest of
T'Challa.
Well,
the only difference which was the smooth part to me, and a great scene when oh boy, his homie, because they were so tight, and they say this for a reason. He's like, you can say whatever you need to say in front of him. Like, that's how much this man and me roll together. You're the king of a secret ass country, but you can say any shit you gotta say to me in front of this man. So the smooth part when he's like, how did you know? Mm-hmm. How did you know that this is what was going on? And he
was also a spy. Yeah, he's like, it's a double turn. It's like, what? He was trying to betray the king, and then his right hand dude betrays him. And so you got this emotion in that scene, and he's like, oh, he grabs him. He's like, you're Wakandan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the F? So
what we were talking about is the multifaceted reasons why the king, the king dad, wanted to sweep it under the rug that the whole incident had ever even happened. Why he didn't take his brother's body back and have it buried and tell them that he killed him because he betrayed them. And why that never became a thing that the Wagandan people knew was, again, number one, because his brother was against the tradition. He didn't want to roll with how they were doing it. He thought they should do something about what was happening in the world. And because...
And he had a son. They didn't want to bring that son back.
Yeah.
They left him like, we gonna forget all about you. You know what I'm saying? And we're off. And
he was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong.
That's why. That's why
T'Challa knew it.
T'Challa was, or that's what made Killmonger his character so
driven,
so so good, and you were easily like conflicted as far as which side you feel is like righteous.
I also think that's what makes T'Challa's
That's
character
why he needed to do
and
things like kill innocent people to just basically you can villainize him. That's the only thing I didn't like is like when he shot his girlfriend.
Well, again,
then he slit the. Because if you take those out,
I do, because the humanity aspect of this movie,
you're gonna be like, hey,
is like, I don't agree with what you're doing, but I do agree with what you're doing. Yeah. I don't think that you'll be able to execute what you're talking about, but I know why you want to do it. I don't think that you're doing this right, but I totally get it. Like, it had me rooting for things I never thought I would root for, being on board, but not. But I also there's a conflict. That's why I understood the conflict of the king so well, because I'm like, yeah, but you're saying yes, we should help these people, yes, we should do that, but you can't discount all this other stuff. So he tried to stick a lot of pins in a lot of places. Like, he agreed.
That's what makes it crazy.
Yeah, it was just so good.
That conflict
Band-Aid solutions.
That conflict is actually real.
Like, did you say those are Band-Aid solutions though?
It is 100% real.
They're definitely Band-Aid solutions, but there's Killmonger's like his whole point of what he was doing. Like, you gotta understand, like, the only way to get to where there's peace and there'll never be peace and like unity in America, because
anywhere.
It's just so much.
Well, definitely,
it's so much. Like, there's a saying, I forget who says it, but if there was any justice in the world, real justice, everyone would be dead. Like,
this is what makes God so amazing.
So there's nobody that's gonna be able to bring about just peace and humanity amongst everybody.
But it doesn't stop us from trying, which is the whole
point. You can try, but
the whole thing is,
like he was saying, I'm just answering his question. It is a Band-Aid solution. You're giving the people that oppressed you better weapons.
I'm gonna say this. I understand. I'm gonna say this is what made Killmonger so interesting is he does do these extreme acts. You know what I'm saying? He kills his girlfriend. He kills his partner Ulysses.
I get
you know what I'm saying? He kills Wakandans. And he tells you when he gets there, you don't even know the things I've done just to get here. I've killed everyone just to have this moment with you. And like nothing's gonna stand in my way from.
I feel like that scene of him killing her was that misplaced anger.
Him being so driven, and your anger eventually swallows you up. Is the whole.
I understand that part.
Real. That's real.
I'm just saying.
It's a real thing.
He doesn't have enough screen time.
He doesn't. You're right.
To have that much depth in the character and only have like 25 minutes on screen.
And I think that's because they gave a lot of the screen time to the technology.
I'm gonna say
and they gave a lot of screen time
to not have that much screen time. Damn, if he didn't do a freaking good job. The little amount he did.
That's why.
Man, that blows me out of the water. Like.
That's why T'Challa's character had to like kind of take his acting had to take a back seat to like.
I disagree. I don't think his acting.
it just
took a backseat.
The whole father thing when he first met his father and he, you know, in his the spiritual.
He has a lot of lame lines to deal with.
When he was crying and he was like, "I'm not ready," and all that stuff, like that was all emotional. They didn't have to, do that. For one,
I feel like
you
they really didn't.
Michael B. Jordan's spiritual journey was more important than.
I love the scene with his father, and I feel like they didn't
we already know how T'Challa feels about his father and his relationship. They could have did that in a.
But you're also learning then that everything he's thought about his. What you're showing is, I do agree.
I feel like the average person that doesn't understand the characters and the actual universe.
But here's where,
because this movie takes place in a place where it's really not a part of the Marvel universe. It's in Africa. It's a cultural thing. I just feel like they should have just touched more on Michael B. Jordan's character, but I get why they didn't, because they didn't want this to become a racially charged movie.
I feel
there's no way you could have gave Killmonger more screen time without us feeling like, I hope this nigga kills all of the crap, because the shit he was doing, like he was like, oh, what's this artifact? Where's this go? Where did this come from? She was like, oh, this is the hammer from Bob. He's like, no, it's not. It's from Uganda.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what? And she's like looking at him like, you dumb nigga, you don't know what you're talking about. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah, you just
I'll be taking this out of your hands anyway. And she's like, these aren't for sale. He's like, oh, so you mean to tell me you bought it? Yeah. Or did you take it? You know, you can't have, there's no way you're going to have that character on screen doing that type of thing.
Listen, they had to balance it.
Exactly. Like, let's not forget that this movie is for children.
They had to balance this.
Like, kids are supposed to go
watch this. Let's remember, it's still a superhero.
Yeah, so I get it. But it's like,
again, big ups to whoever directed and wrote this film. I want to ask you a question.
He compacted such a
shout out to Ryan.
So much more emotion in 2 hours. It's crazy. He basically did 3 movies in one.
My question is this: how do you feel about the tear that the dad shed? And when I say the dad, I mean of the little boy that was left by himself.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
In that scene, I felt a couple things. I felt number one, he's like, my son kind of gets it but doesn't get it. Like
exactly.
I'm not gonna be. I wasn't there to give him well-rounded overall how he should feel about this.
Exactly.
And he could see he had disappointment, but more it was just a hurt, such a deep hurt, because it was like, what's that word? Almost doesn't count, you know, like
exactly.
Son.
It's like the tear. It's like
I want some.
He wasn't done raising him, so you know. Let's not forget that the dad, he was in Oakland. He was a part of some of those civil rights movements, and he armed some of those, you know, those people that
he didn't have enough screen time.
Right, exactly.
I like that character.
That's why he shed the tear, because he's like, what me and my brother created.
That actor brought so much with those couple lines that he had.
He was teaching. When he found the book and he found the necklace, the father's whole reason for doing that was to show his son one day where he comes from and his people. You know, he just was trying to do it in his own way in his own time, because what he was dealing with.
And because he was secretly doing it, right? Because he wasn't allowed to.
But his whole point was, we have.
Why don't they ever talk about the mother?
They don't show the mother.
They don't show the mother.
This shows.
Why do you think?
It shows a decent father and son on both sides. You know, on Killmonger and his dad, and the King and his dad. Don't they? And it's like, bro, like his dad tells him. He says, you know, a man has not raised his son if he hasn't prepared him to accept his death. And I felt that on both T'Challa and his dad's relationship, and I felt it on Killmonger and his dad's relationship.
Well, that's not fair, because their relationship was ended so short. How old was he? What, like 7 or 8 years old?
No, what I'm saying is, what did you do in this time? And then what does he do without? This is why he goes off the cliff. Like, it's showing you why he's so driven down this path.
Oh, because he wasn't prepared.
Because he never had his dad. You know what I'm saying? His dad was.
I was like, what are you talking about? But I'm with you now.
This is where that anger comes from.
I'm on the same road with you, but I really wasn't.
But if you look at it like, right, so T'Challa, if it wasn't for Michael B. Jordan's character in Killmonger,
right,
he wouldn't be the great king that he's
going
to be.
Yes,
you know? He needed to.
I'm not gonna say he wouldn't, because there's different ways to learn the same lesson, and he was kind of getting that same aspect from different areas.
But
we may never know. I can't say he wasn't going to. The possibility.
But in the beginning, all he wanted to be was what his father was. And once he realized that his father isn't perfect and that he should rule in his own way, and that
I feel like they gave that conflict before
But no, once he found out that his dad didn't left the kid and murdered his uncle,
then
and
yes,
didn't
he
even
gave him the extra stuff to be able to follow through with
and didn't
it.
give him a burial and all that stuff. That really ruptured his world, and it to the point where he was questioning whether he was worthy of being the king or if he even wanted to be. And it took his love interest to tell him, like, look, your father wasn't perfect.
Right.
And this is your kingdom to rule now.
I do like that part, yeah.
So that's what.
I agree. I just don't want to say that.
That's why when he went back to the throne and Killmonger was there, he didn't want to fight him. He whispered in his ear and he was like, "Don't do this."
Yeah, she
didn't want to fight him.
She also tells him that whatever your father did doesn't define who you're gonna be.
Right, exactly.
You're your own man. You're your own king.
Nonetheless, though, as he takes the mantle of king, he showed a great deal of integrity in dealing with the things that the former kings have left. Just like the president being inaugurated has to deal with all of the leftover scraps and messed up crap that the previous presidents before him had done. And to be innovative and create a new way to go about doing things, even though it goes against the tradition that they have been following for how many generations.
Let's talk about the sister, man. We ain't brought up Siri, the sister who does all the technology and the suits and all that.
She's super dope.
Man, she lightweight took over the story for a little bit. She took over the movie for a bit. Like, dang, like
I knew she was gonna be good because I watched the show Black Mirrors and she's super good in that too. So I knew she was gonna be dope.
For me,
side note that they won't care about. She has like kick-ass hairstyles. Every scene, her braids were so different. She made me want to go get my hair braided.
For me, her ability to show how much of a sibling she really was the best part. Like,
her walking away from all that technology to go with her mom and go. I did feel this though.
Well, that shows the level of loyalty.
You're off camera.
No,
keep sliding
not.
out. Oh, he's sliding out. My bad. Yeah, she made his suit. You know what I'm saying? Made all the advancements in the country. Like, dang, like how of a genius is this? And she looked what? Maybe like 16 to 18, somewhere around there.
She's like 17, 18, yeah.
Dang, man,
well, the guy
dope.
says you have something in the hands of a child.
Yes. Your country and your technology is being run by this little child who scoffs at tradition, is what he says. So even the gorilla people are kind of like, they're put off because they want them to be more traditional, not so advanced in those technologies. And so they're trying to bridge a gap.
That's why I said I love the multifaceted controversy in this film.
They're trying to build
technology
that bridge.
versus
all
of
that
it
just shows
inside
a sense
there.
of arrogance, though, on the other people's behalf outside.
But
of
some
the
people
main
feel
kingdom.
that way, and that's not necessarily
That's what I'm saying.
arrogant.
It shows a sense of arrogance, though, because
So they gotta
he's
bridge
saying
that.
because she's a young child, she's incapable of handling the vibranium to the levels that she has. Which is not true at all.
Well, I'm not saying he's not saying that, but what his overall point was that
she said these are sneakers. Because they were so quiet.
Those.
Oh, I love that. I died laughing at his sandals.
Yeah. Oh, those sandals were dope. The new ones she gave him?
Yeah, they were called sneakers.
Man,
That's what I just said.
Nike, man, make some of those. Shoot.
Man, you couldn't hear nothing when you put them on, so
he was creeping for real.
The film was great. The acting was great.
I think philosophically is what was my favorite part of the movie.
Because
the philosophical aspect of the movie really challenges you to, consider things that other people just don't consider. Like, the integrity, like Tariq said, his character did not change. T'Challa's character did not change from the moment you saw him in Civil War to the end of the film of the first Black Panther.
This is not for nothing, but I love the dialogue between like the Wakandans and or not even just the people of Wakanda, just the communication between the non-black characters and the black characters. I love the fact when he was barking at him, when they were barking at him.
You cannot speak.
Well, you know what I mean? It's to show them you're
when,
stepping into culture and boundaries you're crossing that you have no idea are even there.
When she called him, she was like, "Oh, colonizer," or something when he woke up.
Right.
Colonizer, or when the agent touched him and she was like, "If he touches you again, then
I'm gonna cut his hand off."
It was just dope to me, the sense of pride, because us as black people in America, you don't
a lot of
have
people have
much,
lost that sense of pride, man.
I mean,
and
because you don't really know your culture like that.
Yeah,
well, like I
they've
said,
been
I was
broken
gonna
down,
give you-
beat down,
It's
whipped,
a-
shot with.
Well, I'm gonna say this: a lot of movies don't
freaking
portray
dogs chasing them. You know,
they
this
don't
is the
portray
movie
the
that
black
we can be
culture.
proud of, you know?
No, they don't do it nowhere near what this movie
No,
did.
no, no.
Well, a lot of
No,
sense
no.
of pride, a lot of sense of.
People think black is being ghetto,
Thank
and that's
you.
horrible because that
You know,
is due to film.
It really stood on the royalty.
It's not just due to film; it's due to the false sense of history
princes,
that America.
princesses.
So let me say this. I was going to say kudos and props to you for knowing as much history and connecting as much dots as you do. And you're right. Most people, even including myself, now I know a lot more biblical history than I do world history. So that, which is the same thing. Whatever. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of dots people aren't going to connect. Like you were saying, people should watch this film and you should look at it and you should think and you should be brought.
Open-minded.
But
for
some
sure.
people look at it and be like, oh, then we're going to think only about African history. Or we should be like this, like a little commentary that I was hearing on your phone. It does provoke thought, but sometimes it provokes the wrong thoughts because you have a variety of people from cross lands. Now, I do believe in right and wrong. I do believe there is an end and a beginning. I have a lot of beliefs that are core, that direct where my mind is going. And in this film, it was exploding, and I can't wait to watch it again. And I really appreciate and like to hear, because I'm easily educated, but I'm not educated already in a lot of aspects of African history. I wasn't raised to question, why don't we have this or do this? You know, I was irritated because I'm of mixed race. A lot of people always ask me odd questions and say that I speak like I'm white or I do certain things. I'm like, but why can't I be me? Because I speak differently. I don't, why do I have to be white in order to talk without having a urban aspect to me, So anyway, a lot of that stuff, I think the wrong thoughts can come from this film, but a lot of good, which I think John's point was going to be. Just because some of it is Band-Aid in the film for the solutions, which is in most films and which is to life, period. If you're not going to bring the overall answer to being any kind of leader of anything, I don't care to the most basic level, if you're the leader of anything, a group of 3 people, that shit is hard. To be in control of other people's lives and destinies, of resources, and especially these kind of resources, that technology is...
Yeah, and I want to say this about the Killmonger character. Like I mentioned this before, and I'm not sure which video. One of them was
we keep jumping back and forth.
But,
We gotta progressing forward.
The Killmonger being, American and being Wakandan, and then being left by his Wakandan family and feeling abandoned and growing up.
Wait, what? He wasn't abandoned.
How was he not abandoned?
They left him.
His father was killed.
And his uncle
they
left
left him there.
Yes, but he wasn't abandoned by his family.
They don't mention his
I mean,
mom.
he felt abandoned. No, he was abandoned there. Yeah.
I mean, what I'm saying is his immediate family and everybody that he knew, as far as he knows, was Oakland, California, and everything there.
No,
but remember, he finds the notebook.
Right. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that's why I don't understand what you're saying.
Because he knows that
He
he's
felt
Wakandan.
The Wakandans abandoned him. He grew up alone by himself, not with that side of his family, that heritage, that having this royal connection to this royal family and never.
Right, we get all this, but where are you getting to? Because I don't want to hear the whole story about him again, like for the 4th time. Like, where are you going with this that you're trying to tell? Why are you bringing him back up?
I'm bringing him back up because I'm connecting that for anyone in any creed or color or race or whatever can feel those type of connections to where you come from, wanting to be a part of that heritage. And on both sides, an American, Wakandan, or whatever you are, you want to have those ties and feel welcomed and feel loved. And so it's just another tie in the thread of this beautiful movie that,
Right.
it speaks to so many different people in so many different areas. And there's so many different messages in this movie.
Well, for me
Yeah,
to
I
go
mean,
back to
to
what
me-
we were saying earlier
to
when
me-
we started shooting, about all the controversy around it, I think that's part of the reason why people don't want you to go see the film, is because you can relate to it and tie things to it so much and bring unity from this film, especially through black culture. Because black people and the African culture and the history and the descendants of them, which are us, is so rich and so fearless and so strong.
I don't think it has anything to do with. I don't think it has anything to do with that because we've made black.
Help me understand it because I don't see why these
this is
people
the reason
would
why.
even decide
This is the reason
to
why
bring up any negatives behind
the
this.
reason
It's
why
a
they bring
superhero
up
movie.
the reason why they bring
It's
up
supposed to be
negative.
fun.
The reason why they bring up negative things about the movie and they say that the right or whatever have said don't go watch this and don't support it or whatever blah 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 is because they don't want to even the playing field. They don't want to see the playing field like far as black
There's negative people, and that's why there's
well,
negative
because
comments.
I mean,
Exactly.
do they say the same thing about going to see 400 Years of Slavery or there's other black films? They just don't make as much money.
This has such a message.
It's not the
very
it's not the
impactful.
message. We've always seen these messages in movies. It's just this
Marketing,
movie is going
yeah.
to make it broke records.
Yep.
And now it puts us in the
I mean,
conversations.
look at the
why can't
the franchise.
they're gonna
that's a part
have
of,
they're gonna
you know?
have a hard time justifying not giving this director a $200 million budget. You know, so that's why they don't want that to happen.
Look at the cast. Look at the director.
Exactly. So
and look what they did with the
right.
the
So it's like
budget you gave them.
it just proves that we could actually sell tickets and
Yes.
people want to come watch us,
Yes.
and we could. And it doesn't matter if everybody wants to come watch it. If just us as black people go and support the movie, it's enough to make that money. So it's dangerous to them to have. Like us socially aware of what's going on if we support each other. Like they don't want that to happen.
Well,
so if say for instance you create your web channel and us as black people just want to support you because you're a brother and you out here you trying to do things and we all just buy into that.
Right.
You know how dangerous that is? Just that idea alone to spread amongst a people and just look at the Jewish community. They take that ideology and they've taken that and pretty much owned half the world because of it. So that's why that certain people don't want the playing field to be even.
I understand what you're
The
saying.
message in the movie has been put in other movies and they didn't boycott those movies. Like I said, 400 Years a Slave wasn't boycotted.
But not to the
Roots
level
wasn't
of what
boycotted.
this
Color
is.
Purple wasn't.
That's because he's a superhero.
But the level of the movie is just it just proves that they wanted it to
Shows the
fail because if
iconism.
it fails, you're not gonna get that chance again.
Nope. Just
He
like
got a $200 million budget. That's the biggest budget of a black. He's your age, John.
Yeah.
And he's been in 3 movies, and all 3 of those movies have tripled their net worth
Yo,
the first week. So
he's
killing it right now. So he's
respectable.
He's literally like becoming Black history. He's like the most.
Yeah.
He's gonna
Very
retire the
historic
most
movie. This is
successful
Black
black
history in the making.
director
History in the
in
making.
history. You know what I'm saying? So
Black actor.
and he's getting his people involved. Like Michael B. Jordan from day one. That's his guy. He's
Well, I'm
involved.
gonna say smart move also on the comic
You know?
book or the writer of
Right,
the
and then Chadwick
the
Boseman is killing all these
Ugandan
writers,
leadership because they have women generals, they have women in charge of the technology. They were on a level
And that plays back into our culture. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of parts about our culture. Like people forget Africa has how many countries within it? You know what I'm saying?
huge.
It's more than 50. They have like probably like 60,
Is
70
it the
countries.
largest
in that.
country or is it
Yeah,
Asia?
it's
the Ugandan government had a king,
So-
but they also had a seat.
My point is like the culture in the movie as far as the women being leaders and all that stuff and them taking the alpha male position, like he's being protected by women in the movie and none of the women in the movie are weak. There's no damsel in distress in this movie. There's no love interest that needs to be rescued or none of that that comes apart in like every single superhero movie or every action movie. There's always a love interest that needs to be saved by the dude. That didn't happen in this movie.
I agree.
It broke the mold, and that's because in the culture in certain
Which is also a
tribes in
dangerous
Africa,
thing.
some of the women are soldiers. You feel me? Like where he comes from, Wakanda.
Yeah, but it ain't just in Africa.
Wakanda,
It's also all around the world.
right, but
You know,
in
it gotta
this
be that way.
movie, it was showing you
But
African culture.
here's what they
Wakanda,
push.
in Wakanda, you're trained to be a scholar and a God-fearing person, and you love your country, but above all,
Respect by
you're a
heritage.
warrior. They're a warrior tribe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in that place, there was no hide the women and you go
It was
here
get
and we're
ready,
gonna put
go
no.
on, fight.
Everybody went to war.
Yeah.
Everybody, and there was different tribes, and they all came together to
I
understand
love
the level
these
of
two
government.
aspects. when they have, you guys, I call it King Day, but when they have the
Coronation.
the challenges,
The ceremony.
that the questions of the people were, was it fair? Was it within the rules? Did he win within the rules that we have set? And if he did, then we have to let him honor. And they did. And I thought that was such a
inspiration.
not necessarily an inspiration, because I'm in disagreement with some of it, and I'm not necessarily one to fall in line. But I loved how they fell in line and how they believed in their culture. They're like, if you start breaking it apart, you're going to break us apart from within. Right. So they were together, even in disagreement. They were together. So when this general finds out for a second, she's like, he's not legitimately the king. She was on her own mission to protect.
To deny it.
Yeah, and I thought that was amazing.
I think the women in this film really portrayed not only black women, but women in general in a wonderfully respectable light. They showed elegance, grace, class, taste.
It wasn't about sex to try to get
no,
with your...
not at all. You know, they were simply just. They were stone cold strong, man. I mean, it's really hard to put.
They showed respect for women. It wasn't about sex. It wasn't about,
status or materials.
Yeah,
it was the honor and the way that these women carried themselves through the film. It not only honored black women all over the globe, it honored all women all over the globe.
Well, real quick, like we said, this isn't a perfect movie, but damn near close. And for me, a few things, like we mentioned before, was a little bit of the CG. Some of the fight scenes, they were good. Could have been great. Hopefully, the next Black Panther, they step up all these cons that we're bringing up. They were fully rounded out, and we get a much more improved movie, which will be difficult because this is such a great movie. But
well, I agree with Tariq. If you're going from comic book to film, there's a lot of corny aspect, but they did a really great job. And even though I said before, and I feel really bad, because my standard of it is really high. He had great acting, but because the film was so good, I would have liked to have enjoyed or had him try a little bit of a different voice in certain aspects of what he was saying. The deliverance of some of those lines, because of the corny nature of them, I would have liked him to play around with a little bit more. But I wasn't disappointed in the least.
Well, let's start winding this down. Give us final thoughts, and then we'll kind of give a grade for the movie. Just final thought, and then grade it. You can go ahead and start.
My final thought of the movie is a great movie. And what are you doing? You can't go wrong with a movie like this because it just has such a strong character. It's a strong character driven movie. The villain is good. The hero's good. All the surrounding cast, they execute perfectly. The storyline, I felt it was like written perfectly. As far as like the pacing of it, I had problems with, just because I just wanted more of the villain.
Was that the biggest part of the pacing?
I mean, that was just my only issue. Is just I feel like Michael B. Jordan deserved more screen time. Just because,
for sure.
Just because he just nailed every time he was on screen. You just
couldn't. Would you equate it to like the Joker in The Dark Knight?
No, that's different. That's
no. I mean, like, as far as how he impacted and made that movie so good.
No, I wouldn't say that. Keith Ledger did a
legendary performance.
Yeah, I don't think there will ever be like another.
I think that Michael B. Jordan's performance was legendary.
Well, I think the difference in comparing it is he didn't have to carry the movie.
There's no way that his performance can be legendary with 20 minutes. You at least got to give him a chance to be legendary.
That's true, but even in that time that
he's not even
given, he really
because he had to.
He's the backstory of him is amazing, but you don't get to see him do any of that.
The reason why we're so into the character has a lot to do more with the writing than the actual acting.
I agree.
The acting he put in the movie really
isn't up to the writer and the director.
The acting he did really wasn't.
Richard something? Is it Richard something?
I forget.
Ryan Coogler.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Big ups.
The acting in the movie, like she said, she didn't really like 100% like buy into the whole accent thing and his, the dry and dull delivery and,
Especially
and
from
monotone like attitude of Chadwick, and I kind of feel the same way with Michael B. Jordan's character. I kind of felt like his lines kind of I don't know. It's something about the way he delivers certain things that I had a problem with. But overall, the movie is
urban, right? Like,
yeah, but the urban aspect of it, like there's a way that you can do it to make it seem more authentic.
Like,
and I just felt like it was
it
was like pushing corny, but
Right,
they
right,
had
right,
to keep
right,
it
right.
as
What's up, Auntie?
right. They had to, exactly, like the little things like that would kind of bother me, but they had to keep it as
I get what you're saying.
universally like digestible as possible.
Right.
They could have made it super black, and you know,
And I think that would have been.
it would have looked like a fucking, you know what I'm saying?
And it was
like
not
some other
just-
shit. Like
I don't know because I don't know what black. Super
I mean,
means,
black, like
but-
there's black movies, like there's black exploitation movies, like that.
Okay, if you throw in the word exploitation, then I can kind of understand.
I mean, my overall grade is an A. Like I agree with him. The CGI was, you know, I don't feel like it'll hold up over time because it was a little bit too much of it. It got too CGI. Like with him in the suit, every time we seen him in the suit, it was pretty much a CGI.
That's what it
whatever.
felt like. Yeah.
The fight sequences was they were all right, but all that is irrelevant, and you forget all of that very quickly because you become so involved in the story and the arc of the characters, and you just want to find out more. And I'm talking about every single character you want to know more about, from the sister to the guard to the mother. Like there isn't a person on screen that you don't mind being on screen other than the white cast. The white cast had the least amount of time in the film, and I think it was purposely done, and it just screams to, like, you have to commend like the casting of this movie. Like, it was just done perfect. Like the chemistry is on point with everybody. Like there isn't a oddball in the bunch. Like everybody just meshes so well.
Let me echo what you're saying, because again, you know, my negatives for this movie are very minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't affect what you were saying, the overall story. The story was so great and so rich and so many layers to this movie that when you weigh it on the scale, it's like so much insignificant that the story just screams to you. You know, the characters jump off the screen and scream at you, and like you have no choice but to focus in on what they're doing and what's going on. So anything that does have a little nitpick here and there, it surpasses it with such a rich story and culture that's driven through this movie. So mine was an A+ as well. Well, mine is an A+, you're an A. Great movie, man. Everyone needs to watch this movie. Everyone's going to get something from this movie. And as we're talking about negatives and people talk about negative things about this movie, people are going to talk all day long. There's going to be negativity in this world.
There's
positives and there's negative. But I feel, and it's my belief, that this positive-driven movie will stand the test of time, will be a classic. Everybody's going to come back and watch this again and again, and you're going to feel the same emotions you felt the first time around.
I didn't say the movie was that test. I'm saying the technology in the movie.
No, you're right. Yes, over time, certain things will.
We'll look at the CGI and be like,
absolutely.
You know?
But that story will be solid.
Yeah,
that you can't crack that.
Yeah, so it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. So shout outs to all of them, director, actors, all y'all did a wonderful job, as you said.
Yeah. Big ups.
Man,
soundtrack's incredible.
Oh yeah.
What was your grade again? I mean, I know you graded it the night we did the spoiler.
A+. It's a special movie for me. Go ahead.
Again, coming from ignorance and I mean not someone not able to think, but as a place where I didn't understand a lot about Black Panther and I don't know a lot about Marvel as far as the background things, I thought it was an amazing movie. I was not expecting to be so involved in the character and so involved in the world. I think that it changed me as a person.
Big
It made me stronger, smarter, more dedicated, more determined to know things I don't know, to be everything that I can be, to not just walk around ignorant about a lot of things. So I think there's no scale to this movie. I don't think a lot of movies today even match this level of, and somebody who doesn't, I mean the CGI and all that, because I don't have an eye for any of that, was fine for me because it looks the same to me as any other shit blowing up. Stuff was blowing up. I accepted it. It was tight moves, like just tight battle sequences to me.
Yeah.
Love. I didn't say enough about the character because I have so much in my mind I couldn't fit it into this, but super, super, super great female cast. To the general character, sorry I don't know your actual name, but that's just me. Great job. Great job to the writers. Great job to
Michonne from The Walking Dead.
I love the movie. I love the movie and I only watched it once, but I'm excited to see it again.
And give it a grade?
There's no
grade for you. Okay.
There's no way to grade it because I don't even compare it
that's what's up.
to movies I've seen.
Okay.
It's on it. It stands
So
on
let's
its own.
just say it was a student and it was turning in its homework assignment.
You can become a
on that
teacher.
way. On
Be a
that
teacher.
way.
I would tell that student.
So then that would mean that they passed.
You are ready to pass on knowledge.
So then I would have to say that's an A or beyond.
What's up? Dre, final thoughts?
Well, as I said, there's a lot of controversy around this film. You know, is it well placed, well deserved? I'll leave that for other people to decide. I think that this movie, just like everybody else sitting on this couch or no longer sitting, how much they enjoyed the film, how well it was done. You know, of course, there's nothing in this world is perfect, and that's what makes our world so perfect. You know, I think what Chadwick Boseman did with the character T'Challa, I really do believe that he is the best suited for it because he walks around with a sense of, I don't want to say pride, but definitely regalness that, you know, he's confident, you know, and to be of royalty, I think, you know, he has a good image and look for that. And, you know, this is a superhero movie full of wonder and whatnot, you know, and to be affiliated with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, you know, being part of Captain America and all them and that, I to me personally this is the best Marvel film that I've watched at all, and it's so driven behind the message of this movie. And a lot of people get a lot of different things from it, but I'm a very deep thinker. I like to fancy myself as a philosophical thinker, so I took very much so a lot of spiritual insight, modern day insight, you know, and there's chemistry between all these characters. There's when they were in China or Vietnam or wherever they were, and they go into the casino, you know, the diversity between her and the lady in the outside, the CIA agent who was from Civil War. I can't remember what his name or character's name was, but you know, he also Bilbo Baggins and the Hobbit. You know, the diversity between these, it really shows how they bonded and got, you know, stronger as a unit. They trusted him to use their weapons, to see their facilities, to do these things. They saved that man's life, you know. There was so much going on in it, and I think if you really pay attention to what this movie has to offer to you, you'll see that unity that I'm talking about, that coming togetherness, because together we can do anything as a people, and this movie really shows that. You know, it just so happens to be that the Wakandans in this film have the resources to make that possible. So, you know, with that said, I find this movie to be a very strong victory, something that not only black people, but definitely black people should be proud of, you know, and it's the road to glory, you know. So I give this movie an A++. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait to go watch it again. I've only seen it the one time. I might go see it in the IMAX, and you know, we thank you guys for joining us and watching this in-depth discussion about T'Challa and the Black Panther, the whole cast, crew, and all that good stuff, the controversy and whatever going around it. If you enjoyed it, you know, if you're already not subscribed, please subscribe.
That's what's up.
Drop us a like, you know. We read the comments, so, you know, send us a comment.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in perspective on the movie.
Just a Tiffany's
Just a
perspective.
different perspective. Yeah, right.
Hey, thank you everyone. Please like and subscribe.
We love you
Hit
all.
the little bell if you want to get notified for any content we put out.
Make
Thank
sure
you
to
so
ring
much.
the bell.
Comment below. There's a lot to talk about with this movie. It creates discussion, it sparks discussion, and it's amazing. So shout out to Black Panther, y'all. Thank you so much.
Peace.